In the last movie, we separated the audio and video for this clip that was riddled with mistakes. If you've skipped ahead to this movie, you may want to review the last movie so that you know what the original footage sounded and looked like. Now that our audio is cleaned up, we need to clean up the video so that the on-screen actions match the dialogue cues. Begin by turning the video track visibility back to on and then adjust the track height slider so that we can see all of our tracks. Then open your marker track and press the spacebar to begin playback and listen for the audio cue to our first key action and then stop the playback. To open a new tab in your browser, go up to the File menu. Right here at about 3.5 seconds, we say File menu. Let's click to set a clip marker at that location so we don't lose our place. Then scrub your mouse forward to find the action that matches that audio. Right here at about 4 seconds is where we click the File menu. Let's drop another clip marker, but this time on our video track. Then scrub your playhead back to look for any incoming video action. It looks like we start our mouse movement here at about 2.5 seconds. So let's drop another clip marker on our video track at that location. Then scrub your mouse back towards the beginning to look for any additional actions. It doesn't look like we have any, so we're safe to trim from the beginning of our clip to get rid of any of this static footage in order to make room to slide our clip down. So we'll make a rough edit, then we'll click and drag the clip until our action marker aligns with our audio cue marker. Then let's play back our edit. Go up to the File menu, and that looks pretty good. So let's wrap up this edit by extending the clip back to the beginning of our timeline. And then keep playing to look for the next edit. And select New Tab from the drop-down menu. So in our video, it looks like instead of getting a clean take of selecting our File menu and then moving our mouse down into the region to the right of the tab, it looks like our mouse moved down right over top of the word New Tab. So let's see if we get a clean video take of that somewhere. Zoom out on your timeline by pressing Command-Shift-minus a few times. And then scrub your mouse down to see if we have the footage that we need. Okay, right here, down around 14 seconds. We move the mouse back up, go back to the File menu, and then make the correct mouse movement. So with the clip selected, let's split our video at that point. Then trim the outgoing video track all the way back to the marker where we first select the File menu, then close the gap by dragging the downstream clip into place. Let's back up and preview that edit. Go up to the File menu and select New Tab from the drop-down menu. That looks much better. Now we have our click sound where we select the menu item. Let's see if we can find that action. Scrub your mouse down. It looks to be about right here at about 10.5 seconds. The selection flashes on screen for a second, letting us know that that's at the point where we made our click. So this time, just press Command-T to split the video at the playhead, then trim the outgoing clip back to the click sound, and drag the other clip down until it snaps into place. Now you may be wondering why I'm not using the ripple delete here for these edits, since it would automatically be closing the gap for us. And the reason is that since we're trying to match the video and the audio in a way that feels right, not having the edit points stitched back together automatically gives us a little more flexibility by doing our trim edits at the clip boundaries. Let's play back this edit to check our work and then listen for the next cue. Down menu. A new tab is opened up and automatically selected for us. Right here at about 11 seconds, we say selected for us. Let's drop a clip marker at that point in our audio track and then look for the action. Reposition your window if you need to. Then we'll scrub down and look for the action. Right here at about 15 seconds, we end the movement of our mouse to go over and point at the new tab. So let's drop a clip marker there and then back up to find the beginning of that action. It looks to be about right here. Let's drop another marker and then back up to look for additional movements. Here's where the tab opens up and then finishes opening at about 8.5 seconds. So we'll drop one more marker there. Now the footage that's between this marker and this marker is pretty static. So we can make a selection of that region and use that space to close up the gap between our cue and the action that we want to align. So we'll hold down the Command key and click and drag to make a selection between those two markers. You don't need to go all the way to the edges of the marker, because if you do, you may delete the marker. Right or Control click and then select Delete Range. Double click your playhead to get rid of the selection, and then let's try and close the gap until our two markers align with each other. We still have a little bit of a gap that's left, but we can trim either of the adjoining clips since it's just a static shot. Now let's back up and preview that whole edit. A menu. A new tab is opened up and automatically selected for us. To close a tab, click the X on the left side of the tab. If you want to... That looks pretty seamless, so let's move on. Here's our last edit that we need to make. Drop a marker and then let's find the action for where this click happens when we close the tab. If we scrub down a little bit further, we can see that we move our mouse over and we start to click down. Then we hover over top and then finally release the mouse to have the action complete. Pause the video and try to make this edit on your own. Then, when you think you've got it, come back and I'll show you what my solution looks like. How'd you do? Here's what my edit looks like. I was able to trim back enough of the static footage coming into the mouse movement, and then align the ending of my mouse movement to when the mouse first stops over top of the close window mark. Then I trimmed out the additional footage so that the action looks like it completes in one smooth step. Let's play back the whole clip to hear how it all came together. Press Command-Return on your keyboard or drag your mouse back to the beginning of your timeline. It looks like we forgot to trim up the very beginning of our movie. Since we've made so many edits that are not stitched back together downstream, we have to make sure that any edits that we make here affect all tracks equally. Therefore, move your playhead down to right where the audio begins. For me, it's at about 24 frames. Then back up 15 frames. Then use the grabber handle to make a selection from there all the way back to the very beginning, and then make a ripple cut edit to get rid of all of the footage across all clips equally. Now, let's play back the whole clip and hear how it sounds. To open a new tab in your browser, go up to the File menu and select New Tab from the drop-down menu. A new tab is opened up and automatically selected for us. To close a tab, click the X on the left side of the tab. If you want to open a link in a new tab, all you need to do... That looks and sounds great. Once you're happy with your edit, feel free to remove all the markers since they're no longer needed.